Welcome to Big Life Weekly Series, where we empower high achievers to break free from limits, unlock their natural potential, and live a big life. I'm your host, Robert Acosta, and each week we will explore the strategies, mindsets, and tools you need to thrive, not just in your professional career, but in every aspect of your life. Whether you're a leader looking for a better balanced life, an entrepreneur aiming for sustainable success, or someone ready to take the next step toward your best self, this podcast is your space to grow, reflect, and take action. Let's dive into today's episode. Hello, I'm Robert Acosta. I'm with Ianthus Barlow, from IB Woodworks in Arizona, USA. Welcome, Ian.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, so let's jump right in and start showcasing your business. So, Ianthus, can you give us a 90-second overview of what your business does and why you got into it?
So we manufacture and produce custom high-end solid hardwood furniture. The reason I got into it, I grew up, my dad had a cabinet shop, so I kind of learned a lot of the techniques for woodworking and, helping him. But it really didn't set in till about, 7 years ago when I kind of started hobbying in my shop and really found the passion for the craft. And then everything that you go and find at any box store, it's like everything's built to break nowadays. Everything's fiberboard, everything's MDF, everything just gets garbage. So that's where I started, like with IB Woodworks. We built every product from solid hardwood to bring back the original old school woodworking stuff that last generations, building heirloom type furniture instead of just this throwaway furniture that everybody does nowadays. So that's our whole go-to thing. I'll never try and get a client a better price based on downgrading on materials or anything like that. So that's our kind of our niche right there.
Yeah, and definitely there is a market for that, right? People that don't want a garbage furniture or something that they need to replace in few months or years, and then they have an option with you. So, what do you enjoy most about the work you do in the luxury hardwood furniture?
Honestly, being able to bring something that's so rustic and rugged, like a dead tree standing. I got quite a few jobs where a client will have a tree in their yard, and I'll go cut it down, I'll mill it up, I'll dry it, I'll work it clear to a finished product, and just seeing that transformation from something that most people chop up and burn or throw in the garbage, and like taking that tree that it maybe lived 80 years and take it and give it another 100, 200-year life in a different form. Like that's what really just, when you see that end product and you look at the beginning product, you're like, wow, that was a piece of garbage sitting there. And I just turned this into something that's just amazing and it has another life to live. That's really what keeps me engaged and keeps me going with it all.
That's great. So living the process of transformation and being the father of that transformation, I think it's an amazing feeling, right?
It is. And I feel like the trees themselves, they honestly do all the work. It's like, I'm a woodworker. Yeah, the joinery, all that stuff matters. But it's at the end of the day, when you look at a finished piece, everything you're looking at it's what the tree already did. It grew for that 80, 100 years or whatever, and it created so much gorgeous patterns and everything in it. So I tell this to people all the time. It's like, oh, why are you so good at what you do? It's like, I just shine up what the tree already did. The tree already made itself beautiful. I take it and I give it another life, and I let the world see what it looks like inside instead of looking at the outside.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's like you're the Michelangelo of wood. So how do you define success in the work you do?
Well, it's honestly hard. Finding people that will actually understand the value of what we're producing. Obviously, if you buy a table from me, you're say 8-foot table, you're going to be $10,000, or you can just go to a box store and you can buy it for $3,000. So it's really trying to get people to understand that is what helps my side of it to create the passion and really make them understand what they're getting, and it's something you're going to buy once in your life versus something you're just going to buy and throw away every 5 years kind of thing. So that's kind of where the passion comes from, and trying to keep that alive, trying to bring back the old woodworking techniques. Like I said earlier, it's just been lost. Everybody just wants to build garbage and throw it away.
Yeah, so definitely you're an artist. So it's one thing at a time. It's tailor made. It's not mass production of furniture, right?
Yeah. It's me and one helper, one apprentice, and I'm fully engaged in every build. I do everything. I'm the sales rep. I'm the designer, the creator, the builder, installer, all of it. And throughout the whole process, we engage a lot with our clients, where like I'll do the original bid, we'll figure out dimensions, species, whatever. But then as I'm picking the right material, the right wood, the right slab, I'm sending them messages. Hey, do you like this slab? Do you like that slab? So they're picking exactly what they want. And then as I go through the build, there's always options that, I could go this way, or I could go that way. So I'm sending it to them. I'm getting them engaged in it, which makes them feel almost like they helped me build the table. So it's even more precious and personal to them, because I've engaged with them throughout the whole process.
Yeah, so I'm just curious, what is the biggest challenge you see in this industry of luxury furniture, and how are you solving that for yourself, your business, or your clients even?
Well, even in the luxury furniture realm, it kind of comes back to that. Everybody loves doing these fiberboards, these veneers, and like I understand they have their place. Being able to do a veneer on a fiberboard or a plywood or something, it's more stabilized. Like, you don't get as much expansion contraction, but it doesn't offer it the potential to live generations. It just doesn't. So I feel like that's the big problem in the industry, is people are making amazing pieces, but they have this 16th inch veneer to where if they get a ding, if they get a scratch, there's no repairing that. You can't sand it out. You can't refinish it. It's just always going to have that ding, that scratch, and then eventually they fall apart. So it's like my whole goal with IB Woodworks is pushing people to go back to solid hardwoods. They have their twerk. They expand, they contract, they do their thing, they move around, but they're a live organism. They're living. It's a living piece of wood. So it's just about building it properly, but really just trying to get people excited about having something that is going to outlive them. I build stuff for people in their 30s and their 40s, and I'm telling them, like, this is gonna outlive you. It's gonna outlive your children. There's no doubt about it. And it's just that I feel like that's where it needs to come back to. It needs to be. You pay a little bit more for the solid hardwood versus the veneers, but it pays out so much in the future when it's a piece that sticks around for 100, 200, 300 years. Who really knows? I won't be around to see, but that's the thought I have in my mind every time I build a piece. If it comes to any questionable, a part, a joint, anything like that, like, oh, is this going to be able to hold this load? Is it going to be able to hold this weight? I always go bigger, always go more, always go stronger, always go better, just to make sure that it does. Just make sure that we're building stuff that's going to stick around for a long time. That's what it's all about for us.
Yeah, I think there are people that really value and pay for that kind of work. So, having said that, who is your ideal client, and what significant outcomes can they expect when they work with you or hire you to build their furniture?
So my ideal client is, people that understand and see the value in paying that extra. I mean, you might pay 100-200% more for a table from me versus from a box store, but it's the understanding. Like, because I have clients that go both ways. I mean, I get calls all the time, and they see my videos. Oh, that's awesome work. I want one. How much is it? And they're expecting 3,000, and they get a $10,000 quote. But it's like the people that understand the quality and like what we're building. Those are the people that I'm after, because those are the ones that understand it's like they're not just buying a piece of furniture. They're buying something that's going to be a part of history. They're buying something that they can hand down to their children, to their grandchildren. Like it's something more than just a piece of furniture. And then we, the way we go about everything, it's art. I mean, it's every table is different. Every table is gorgeous. It's mesmerizing to look at. So my target client would be someone that wants something very unique. They want to have basically one of a kind piece that's going to stick around for hundreds of years.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
Definitely.
And,
it's an asset. It's part of the asset. It's part of the wealth, right?
That's right.
Has to be. So can you tell us some what's the strangest or funniest incident that you had experienced while working in your luxury hardware furniture business? Do you have something surprising that happened to you that you want to share?
Well, I work with epoxy quite a lot. So it's a pretty trendy thing that's been happening over the last probably 10 years. People are bringing epoxy into the woodworking realm. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, epoxy is, you'll think you'll get it figured out, and it'll teach you something new as soon as you think you have it figured out. So I mean, that stuff is so touchy. I mean, your environment, the brand, the volume you're pouring, everything is it changes all the parameters. So like, I've been trying to create some kind of a system where it's like, a time frame, a temperature kind of deal when you're pouring epoxy river tables, but it's been hard to really nail down because of the, like I said, the environment, what's the relative temperature, the volume you're pouring. Are you pouring 3 gallons? Are you pouring 12 gallons? Like, everything changes. So like, I've had scenarios in the past where I'd pour 10 gallons of epoxy into a river, and it takes, I mean, you'll be babysitting, you'll be checking on that every hour for 48 hours straight. Like, it's that unpredictable. And with 10 gallons of epoxy, that's $1,000 of material inside of, another $3,000 worth of slabs. So it's, if something goes wrong, it's pretty catastrophic. So you're just constantly check. And I had I actually did an epoxy river door, and I was checking on that thing every hour, and right about probably like the 18th hour or something in there, it just started kicking hard. It got hot. It cured so dang fast, it ended up cracking. And like those situations, it's like you finally think you had it figured out, and it throws a little curveball at you, and then you got to go in and figure out how you're going to repair and fix and make sure that this product lasts forever.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's an amazing story. So I think you are in two industries, right? The industry of the art and the industry of the furniture, or maybe you're creating a third industry, which is the combination of both. So what do you see as the common trends within your business or this industry of luxury art and furniture, and how are you staying on top of that?
I mean, it's all about unique designs. It's like, I mean, I follow a lot of people online that are doing the same thing I'm doing, watching them, learning from them. A lot of times learning, like I'll watch their videos, and I'll learn that I already learned something that they haven't learned. It's so, there's so much going on. Everybody's trying to create the new design, the new thing, the new trend, whatever's going on. It's all about, following your industry and making sure you're on top of it. I mean, especially in the interior design, I mean, there's styles that come and they go every 2-3 years. So it's like, I feel like 5 years ago, everything was square kind of thing. Like, it was all boxy, square, modern kind of look. And recently they're kind of trolling back to big like round overs, big soft round corners, all that. So it's just making sure that you're really engaged with your industry. I mean, I'm subscribed to a lot of newsletters with interior design, all that to see what people are wanting, you know, even though it's something I don't want to do, like the big
Yeah.
soft rounds. Like that's just like, oh, that's kind of,
But
I feel like
people
that
do.
takes us back to the 70s, you know, with big radiuses and everything. But it's the way the trend's going. If you want to move product, that's what you have to do. So it's staying on top of it. Make sure you're engaged with the market that you're in, and always learn. I mean, never feel like you've learned it all. It's like you always got to keep an open mind and always learn more and grow. It's gonna shift.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good mindset to have to keep learning, and mostly in this world that the world is moving very fast. So
Definitely.
even if you want to stay in the same place, you have to learn something new. If
That's
you have
right.
the same results, you can even just stop. So, what would you say is the biggest failure or challenge that you have faced to this point in your life, and how has that shaped the way you do business today?
This is a little off the topic of woodworking, but recently shared a solo partnership in an investment company, and it was with a friend. I thought, you know, we were good friends for 12 years. We, you know, be able to just handle this between the two of us. So we had contracts, whatever, put in place, but we just didn't go down the right pipeline. I didn't have the legal advice on, you know, on my shoulder, whisper in my ear, kind of like making sure I was going the right path. So it kind of ended up in a dirty mess. It's like, so what I learned from that is, especially in business and especially with family and friends, it's like everything should be. I mean, you don't want to get all corporate with it, but everything needs a contract. You got to go through the right channels that are already in place, and make sure that you're always covering your butt. You know, it's like when there's a lot of money on the line, it can change people. So you got to make sure you just bring in a third party. You know, make sure you have legal advice on what step to take next without just letting someone take advantage of you, basically.
Yeah, learnings. Yeah, and when you fail and when you have that experience of those kind of experiences, you have to harvest the good and then try not to repeat what didn't work in the past, right?
Yeah, and trying not to let it change who you are. You know,
Oh yeah, that's most important.
yeah, you gotta keep true to who you really are. And bad things happen, you learn from them. You gotta move on
Exactly.
and still be your true self.
Yeah. So you have lived something, yeah, good and bad. So what is the one thing that has been most instrumental in your success?
I'd say my passion it comes down to really loving what you do. I mean, being excited to get up in the morning to go and check on a project that you're in the middle of and continue make some progress on it. It's when you well, I've had a lot of jobs over my short 34-year life. Everything in, I mean, all the construction, concrete, framing, remodeling, windows, doors, all of it. And like, I just never had the passion for it. So it's like every day you just wake up, oh, I gotta go to work, you know? And when I started IB Woodworks, it started out as my release from my day job. So I'd get home from an 8-hour day. I'd go in my garage, a little one car garage, set up a little shop, and I would be in there for 6 hours. I would forget to eat dinner. I was so engaged with what I was doing and so excited about it that it just, I mean, it just flows. You just do what you do. So I feel like definitely having the passion for what you do, I mean, it makes to where you don't work to live, you live to work.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. Put your heart. You mentioned that heart as well, your heart and your passion. So let's
Mm.
talk about the future. So, what is the next growth area for you personally and for your business?
Well, we're trying to get into the social media kind of the content realm right now. I've had all the social media platforms for basically 7 years since I started, but I haven't really tried to push, you know, content, show people, train people on the stuff I've learned already, and just give exciting content. So we're really pushing that to, I mean, educate people like when it comes to all this fireboard, because I mean, I know just from talking to clients and stuff, they don't understand the difference really in between it other than the price range. So it's like putting these videos out to show people, hey, this is, solid hardwood. This can be refinished. This is way more valuable, way more precious. It's going to last, I mean, 30, 40 times longer than anything that's fiberboard. And just educating them on that side of it, and then also trying to boost more brand recognition is kind of what it comes down to. Just trying to get out of trying to get over this hump of me being the builder and trying to step back a little bit more and bring in guys to manage the shop, to build. And so where I'm the one pushing the brand. I'm still doing, all the bids, the designs, everything like that, but trying to get to the next level. Because in the last probably about 3 years, the income just kind of plateaued. I can't physically build anything more myself. So I have to really step back and try and make it over that first hump. It's really been an obstacle. I mean, releasing the control on. I mean, I can't really say the quality, because like I'm right there. I make sure the quality's there, but like I'm not physically building it, and like people have different skills than me. So it's been a really interesting transition trying to get over this hump to actually bring in people that have the same passion. I mean, the apprentice I'm working with now, he shows it. I mean, all the way. He'll figure out any way to conquer any obstacle. He's also not afraid to ask the questions and learn why are we doing it this way instead of that way, kind of thing. Like I mean, it always comes down to the passion. I've had probably 6 employees over the last 7 years. And a lot of them were youngsters, just coming out of high school and need a little side job. And that's great because you're teaching them from scratch. But I mean, when I was that age, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like you don't really have that drive yet.
Yeah.
Where this apprentice that's working for me now, that's what it all came down to. Is he came in, he already had been dabbling in the custom woodwork realm for about 3 years, had a bunch of his own tools, had to shut his shop down and move states over. And he contacted me, and I mean, it's been huge having somebody that shares the passion. I mean, and he'll spend the time on the stuff that most people would think is unnecessary, but it's all the little details that add up in the end to make a perfect product perfect. When you skip over so many little details in the end, all those details kind of group up together and they show you, hey, this isn't a perfect product. This isn't wonderful. It's all about just paying attention to the details. You have to have the passion to do it. You have to have you're not just punching the clock. You're in there crafting. You're not just punching the clock.
Yeah, I know. That's what I say. You're in the art industry, and art equals passion, and those soft skills of really liking what you do. Otherwise, it's not just, as you say, punching the clock, but really giving all yourself in something. And I think you're going to build a team eventually, because there are a lot of people out there with a lot of passions, and maybe they think that their passion has to be a side of whatever they do to earn money or to make a living. But when you find both things, that you can do both things together, your passion and your way of living could be the same. Wow. And I think that's what you're offering to people that are really passionate about it. So I think it's amazing. So let me ask you this funny question. If you could have lunch with one person, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Well, it'll definitely be my dad. He taught me so much, not even in the woodworking realm, but just how to be a man, how to be a good person. And he's still alive, but unfortunately his religion doesn't allow him to associate with me. So it'll definitely be my dad.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
I'd love to learn more from him, but even though he's literally over that mountain, like 30 minutes over there. I can't go and have lunch with him.
Yeah, well, that's a good thought. At least you have, well, if you have his genes and something that is spirit and passion. It's like you having your father within you, right?
Yeah, he taught me a lot in the beginning, whether I was listening or not. It's still soaked in. Like, I mean, I can't say enough. He's a wonderful man, and everybody loves him, and it shows.
Excellent. Yeah, that's amazing. So, what is the best way for people to connect or contact you if they'd like to work with you or discuss referral partnerships or know you, know the what you can offer to them?
Well, first place to go is ibwoodworks.com. That's going to be my website. So they can go in there. They can contact me directly. They can submit a form for a custom build on there as well. Well, I mean, you can bypass that and go straight to ibwoodworks.com. That's my personal business email. You'll get in direct contact with me. Then obviously we're on every social media platform out there. Just type in IB Woodworks. We're going to be there. You can watch a lot of the work we've already done and really see the creativity, the passion, the artistry that comes out of it, and obviously the quality.
Excellent. Well, that was amazing. So I truly enjoyed our conversation, Ianthus, and thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you for joining me on Big Life Weekly series. I hope today's episode gave you the insight, inspiration, and tools you need to move closer to the life you're meant to live. Remember, true success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about how you feel while you achieving it. If you found value in our conversation, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with others who are ready to embrace their big life. Until next time, stay focused, keep growing, enjoy life, and break free.